The Book of Mormon has a ton of different literary features, but there was one that I had never heard of, and it's called diptych. The term initially comes from the study of ancient art, where artists would compose two similar scenes with contrasting themes or narratives, like this one, which is called The Coronation of the Virgin in the Last Judgment, which shows the rewards of salvation and the consequences of damnation. And you can do the same thing with literary narratives, and the Book of Mormon actually does this a lot. For instance, you have the famous Sermon of King Benjamin, which can be contrasted readily with a very similar but very different sermon from King Limhi. And we get the story of Ammon preaching to a Lamanite king, and then the story of his brother Aaron also preaching to a Lamanite king with somewhat different results. But there's a new article this week that covers a different diptych. This one from Alma the Younger and his sermons to both Ammonihah and Zarahemla. In both cases, Alma gives very similar warnings to two cities that have gone off the rails. But one repents and is spared, and the other one doesn't, to put it mildly, and meets a rather brutal end at the hands of the Lamanites. And what's interesting is the imagery he uses. In both cases, he talks about the chains of hell and the bands of death, which echoes language that's been used all the way through the Book of Mormon at this point. It's even in the Book of Moses, where you have Satan with a great chain that veils the whole earth in darkness. This imagery is part of what scholar Noel Hudson identifies as the seed motif, referring to Genesis with the seed of the woman and the seed of the serpent. And it's a theme that we see throughout the standard works. In that motif, Satan and his servants seek to chain us with sin and death and drag us to hell. But the Book of Mormon also presents us with another diptych, a very similar but contrasting image, that of a loving God encircling us with a very different chain, the circle of the love of God. See Hudson's article for all of those details, as well as check out some of his earlier work to learn more about that seed motif, and I will see you next week.